in for the Mars series, Mars in the fifth house to be exact. If you happen to have Mars in the fifth house or you're just learning along, welcome to my humble abode. My name is Crew, aka A Rainy Storm, your cosmic root work astrologist specializing in evolutionary astrology. So if you're interested in learning a little bit about your past lives and also as well as your current incarnation and mission in life, you can definitely hit me up for personal readings, okay? I am currently doing my readings at a barter and trade, general readings at a barter and trade, and as well as tip and donation based readings as well. So you definitely make sure you want to check that out. I also have a class that I had just dropped, okay? Chiron and Aries through the houses. It's each individual of, so if wherever Aries is in your chart and you want to know a little bit more about that Chiron energy and how to alchemize it, as we are transiting now currently through Mars or Mercury and Aries, it conjuncts March, or has already conjuncted March 20th, will conjunct again Mercury and Chiron April 5th, and also May 7th. And also it'll be here, through the year. So if you're wanting to know a little bit more about not just the placement itself, but exactly or how to support you in alchemizing this energy, you definitely want to check that course out as well. And that information is below. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. I also have an Astro travel series that I just dropped on being a North Node in Sagittarius. Okay, so you definitely want to check and make sure you see my Astro travels. I'm currently living on my North Node and MC line in Sagittarius, and I'm also very close to my Venus line as well. So if you want to know a little bit about what that life is like, I'm dropping videos on that as well. So y'all make sure y'all check that out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into Mars and the fifth house. So we're going to talk a little bit about Mars, and then we'll get into the fifth house. So Mars, the energy of Mars itself is the planet is the warrior god. It rules over Scorpio, and it also rules over Aries energy. This is where you could definitely see somebody who has, or just the energy of like your passion, your fire, your energy, your vigor, the thing that gets you up out of the bed every morning, okay? This is the energy that you can also see when you're angry, okay? This is like when you piss the hell off. Mars is going to be the energy that you are embodying, okay? Also, too, when it comes to your sexual energy, Mars is here. And also when it comes to even alchemizing your sexual energy into creative energy, okay? Sacral chakra, solar plexus. You want to go to Mars for this energy as well, too. It'll definitely help you and support you. And also can be your weapon of choice, okay? Physical weapons of choice with Mars here. So with Mars in the fifth house, you can definitely see somebody who is very creative, has a lot of, needs to express themselves through creative pursuits, has a lot of passion and fire through their creative projects. This is also where you could see somebody, especially because fifth house is the Leo house of children. This is where you see like gambling, risk taking. This is where you can also see like animals as well too with the fifth house. I think fifth house is smaller animals, and I think sixth house is bigger animals, if I'm not mistaken. And also too, like your childlike energy as well as housed in the fifth house. So you can see somebody who definitely can be a little childish in the best ways possible. Also too, it's flirtation, pleasure, joy, and things like that. So, Mars in the fifth house can partake in those types of things as well too. They love to romance and be romantic and be romanced and all those kind of things too. I like to say it could sometimes be a rolling stone, depending on, the aspects and energy in this particular chart. They kind of like wherever they lay the hat is its home. Wherever they lay that hat is its home. Not all of y'all, so don't come for me in the comments, okay? I'm just saying that Mars in the fifth house can kind of be, out there with that energy, okay? It's just to say, I'm just saying, okay? Don't shoot the messenger, all right? Also, too, dabbling in, like I said, romantic pursuits, could also be in like risky business, because like I said, Mars is like very impulsive in the energy, and so you could see somebody that might, for example, this could be in a different ways, like gambling. You could see somebody who maybe they're investing money, because like I said, Mars or fifth house can be like creative pursuits as well, or just pursuits creatively, or entrepreneurial pursuits. So maybe, for example, somebody has like Bitcoin, you know what I mean, and they're like, okay, well, I'm gonna put $200 into this particular coin, and I'm gonna just see what happens, right? So you can see somebody who like can make risky investments, because Bitcoin, even though there's strategies and things like that to it, there are risky investments as well that are also in it. You can win the gain and gain the lose. You feel me? No, not gain and lose. What was I say? Y'all know what I'm talking about. You can put money in there to lose money, and you can win money to gain money. It can go on either side of the coin. So stuff like that with Mars in the fifth house here. You can also see somebody who has a lot of children with Mars in the fifth house. Or just like I said, just very sexually charged with Mars in the fifth house, but definitely like a lot of children, or even working with children with Mars in the fifth house. Working with, if it's not children, they might have a childlike way of approaching their creative pursuits or endeavors, if that makes any sense. Definitely makes sense, but just saying. Also too, what you could see is like I said, very childlike in their expressions. Like they're very, Mars in the fifth house are just very creatively inclined. And if they're not expressing that creative energy, they can feel very suppressed. They can also feel very angry if they're not suppressing, or if they're not acting on their creative energy. So you definitely want to make sure that you're like pushing the limits when it comes to your creative pursuits and endeavors, regardless of what it's doing for the outside world. You yourself need to be doing it, or you're going to feel, you might feel levels of frustration, you might feel even levels of anger and things like that if you're not like expressing yourself through creation in some way, shape, or form. Okay, and then also too, what you can see is very competitive in sports, very competitive, and just competitive in general. Like, Mars in the fifth house is in it to win it. Okay, like if they're going up against you, if they're battling up against you, they're like, I am here to win. Like, I hear what y'all talking about, but this is what I'm here to do. Okay, you know what I mean? So definitely, if you're Mars in the fifth house, you can definitely see somebody who is kind of in the spirit of this energy as well. Just very spontaneous and enthusiastic with this energy. Sometimes they can because not only is Mars in the fifth house impulsive, Mars in the fifth house can overdo, like, I don't know, I definitely feel, especially because it goes like with flirtation and things like that, and not even just with flirtation, but just like kind of wanting to overly do, or overly not necessarily give. What am I trying to say with Mars in the fifth house here? What I'm really trying to say is, with Mars in the fifth house, is like their need sometimes for validation through like romantic pursuits and partners can like just overcome their need to express. So if you find yourself kind of like wanting to just be in romantic relationships for the sake of like validation, or like needing a partner, or feeling not necessarily full-time partnerships, right, or like long-term partnerships, but just needing somebody to like, it's probably because you're not necessarily creating the creative expression within yourself. That's not to say that you can't embark on relationships. It's just saying that if you find yourself constantly craving, needing to be in relationship with somebody, or in romantic partnerships with somebody, it's probably because there's something within you that has not been expressing themselves creative. Once again, like I said, not to say that you can't be Dora the Explorer in the romantic and relationship department in there, but I'm just saying, like, it's probably because the energy that you innately have within yourself is not being expressed in those kinds of ways personally, right? Because this is your outward expression to the world and things like that, but definitely very romantic. Definitely, can put it on pretty thick. Granted, like I said, definitely depends on what Mars sign is there, and also what aspect is there, and things like that. So you definitely want to check to make sure what that is. But that is what I have for Mars in this fifth house. We're going to move over to Mars in the sixth house and end this week off with Mars in the eighth house. Okay? All right. Already know what it is. Make sure y'all check out that Your Chiron Wounding, Healing Your Chironic Wounds class. Okay? And also, if you're interested in a personal reading, you can check out those links below. Like, share, subscribe, and leave them comments, because y'all know I love to see y'all's comments. Okay? And I will see y'all on the next video. All right. Okay. Deuce.